there, Rena McFadden here from Quantum Clearing, and with me today I have someone that I'm blessed to call a beloved friend. It is author Celia Fuller. Welcome, Celia.
Hi, Irene.
Hi.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you, as always.
Yeah.
We're going to talk today about Celia's latest book, a very, very important book, and it is called Pregnancy and Birth, The Conspiracy of Silence. And we're going to ask Celia why she called it The Conspiracy of Silence. Because any of us who've had children know that bringing a little person into the world is the most magnificent joy. It is, it truly is a miracle, and all that love that springs out. But it can be a very romanticised experience. There are days where you feel like you've slipped into the seventh circle of hell, and nobody tells you that beforehand, do they? We know that. So Celia has written this amazing book, mandatory reading for all mums-to-be, mother-in-laws, grandmothers. Anyway, we'll get on with it. It's not my story, it's Celia's. So, Celia, tell us why you decided to write this one.
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, The Conspiracy of Silence, there's many, many books out there on pregnancy and birth, but I needed to break an unsaid code of silence amongst women. That's amazing how many stories about how a woman is affected as soon as she becomes pregnant that is just not given or offered by other women. So that's why I say that women have this secret code and they actually have a bit of a silence to it. And it's not until a woman is usually quite advanced in pregnancy that then they begin to tell the stories. Now, sometimes those stories are horror stories. Most often horror stories. But there are also a lot of subtle changes, mentally and emotionally, that are not spoken about. And because they're not spoken about, it makes every woman feel alien and different, and they judge their own journey that it's not matching the rest of their womenfolk, and it's not matching what the media keeps pumping at them. So I'm really basically speaking quite upfront in the book about a lot of those really subtle changes of mental, emotional balance and the way the female mind processes those changes, and some of the things she would like to say or do or act but never dares to, because socially it might seem not befitting of them, not the norm, and yet she feels these emotions arise quite predominantly in her. So this is really helping normalise the experience for new mothers and new fathers as well, because they're going to have to be on the other receiving end of these emotions when a couple is in a relationship and having a child. When it's a woman that's single and on her own, she's going to be relying on family members, and of course, you know, these emotions are going to rise no matter what. So even if a single woman has these emotions that are coming along, she might think that it's only because she's single and doesn't have the support, but in fact it's an experience that even the women with the most supportive husband can still be addressing, and they can feel really betrayed that no one actually has told them the much deeper story. And like you said, romanticised. And it is true. Way too much romanticism and not enough straight talk.
That's absolutely, I would say, all women's experience. So having this out in the open is a godsend, quite literally a godsend, because the content of your book is fantastic. It goes into some very personal and practical things that, like you say, they're not talked about. Yeah. Nobody's giving any of that information away. Yeah. Probably because they feel that it's not normal.
Absolutely.
You know, nobody's sharing this stuff, realising, you know, that it is normal. We're all going through it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many levels of things that are not discussed.
Yes.
That makes you feel not normal. And that personal self-judgment and the joy of having a child can be immediately thrown away almost, because a woman can be suffering with these conflicting emotions and thought all the way through the pregnancy, and it doesn't stop there. It's in that early birth as well. So there is an aspect of a strong focus in the pregnancy in the book, but also at the birth process and the just aftercare of all the changes in the body when the milk's coming in, the fumbling around of trying to wash a baby, change a baby, put even clothes on the little floppy baby. There's all sorts of things that are making you feel quite inept. And so in that way, sort of addressing many of that normalisation and helping that normalising process for young women's minds.
Yes. So that really sets it apart from other pregnancy books.
Yes, in a couple of aspects, it's what sets it apart, even though we go through the process of pregnancy and birth and aftercare, is it's really focusing on the subtle emotional, mental changes rather than the medical side. There is definitely medical aspects to it, but it's not that primary focus of just fact. It's more the emotional insight into the person as they process the change of life, really.
And all those feelings, all those crazy, conflicted feelings that we go through. So, Celia, also I noticed at the back of the book there's quite a focus on meditation for mental support and balance and natural therapy advice. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay. Because I'm a meditation teacher and work a lot with the spiritual side of things, but meditation is mostly very misunderstood in that, some people think it's more a religious idea, but it's actually brain training. And so it's actually becoming popularly known as mindfulness and coming into a much more known parameters within corporate world, a lot more now in pregnancy as well, teaching women meditation focus, often known as hypnobirthing. And the book has quite a lot really about that, as well as yoga, those supportive mechanisms that can actually help you find a way to train the brain and the body to actually relax more in the birth and make it more enjoyable, but also then to allay a lot of those anxiety feelings that come and arise from different times in the pregnancy. The other natural therapies is a whole collection of different natural therapies and therapists that are out there in your community that you may not have been informed about by medical personnel, but it's quite amazing how many other types of therapies are available to help you with your before care, after care, after birth as well, to help you move through those emotional, mental aspects, and also some of the natural therapies, body work that you can have to help you heal after the birth and make your body more comfortable, so that when you're caring for your baby, you're having more joy in it rather than terrible body discomfort.
So important.
Very important. Very important indeed. Yeah.
And in the book, is there support for the men in the lives of these new mums and babies?
Yes, there is a small section in the back of the book that really is focusing on what men could do, how they might approach it, but also for the women especially and the families that are involved in birth to be aware of how the man is feeling and to let him be part of the process and the picture, because so many men feel really left out. They feel quite disconnected. And they also thought they would be more involved, but because the women and the older women who are nurturing and trying to guide the woman through this great transition from young woman to mature woman because she's given birth, the man is then sort of kind of just pushed aside more and more and more, and then he starts to disconnect and doesn't know how to reconnect. So there are certainly some aspects in there to help them bridge that gap a little more, but also for the woman to bring her mind back to make sure he's considered as important, which he is. If you want his support, he's important. So, we hope that it can help that situation in the relationship.
Beautiful. It's such a beautiful book, so important. So we need to let you know how you can get a copy of this book.
Yeah, thanks, Irene. The book is available on Amazon.com, and if you put in the book section and type in my name, Celia Fuller, you will actually find a collection of my books there. It is also available as a Kindle ebook, so you can download it directly to a reader. There is a free app on Amazon where you can download the app and have it directly either into your phone or a smaller device. You can go to my website and request a book through email at this stage, and I can send a signed copy to you. And then, of course, sometimes I run promotions through my Facebook page, which is Celia Fuller, inspirational speaker, spiritual teacher, and so I often will run some little promotions through there that if you like the page, you'll be able to get sort of updates on those promotions.
Fantastic. Lovely. Celia, thanks so much for joining us today. And best of luck with this brilliant book, and I hope it finds its way out into the world.
Absolutely.
To its highest potential. And thank you for spending time with us today.
Right. Oh, thank you very much, Margaret.